Warner Bros. Discovery is now officially for sale, and just to make things even worse, let me show you another post, which I'm not going to read through this. Okay, look at this one. Not just this one. This one, look at this. Warner Bros. Is now officially for sale, and Andy, I don't know how to say his name, Andy here, a Flash director, blames the fan for the failure of the Flash. Nice job, genius. I'm probably certain some of you have already watched The Flash, so I have to ask all of you one question. What was your experience? Was the movie good, mid, or bland? Give your answers in the comments. This announcement was first given, or in this case reported, by Hollywood Reporter. Yes, Hollywood Reporter. Shocking, isn't it? I'm not going to read all of it. We're going to read the important points first. We'll see. Zaslav said the review would determine the best path forward to unlock full potential of our assets and position for long-term success. He added that the board will examine all potential paths, including a transaction involving the entire company, separate transaction for Warner Bros. Or Discovery Global, of an alternative separation structure that would enable a merger of Warner Bros. Or a spin-off of Discovery Global to shareholders, meaning everything is on the table. According to multiple reports, including Reuters, I can't even say the words, and Hollywood Reporters, Paramount Skydance, the newly restructured Ellison's family conglomerate that recently completed its own merger, said that it had already submitted a 20 per share bid for Warner Bros. Earlier this month. The offer was reportedly rejected as too low, but it confirmed what many analysts suspected. Media suitors are circling. That's part of what's happening. Now let's go to the important part, okay? More important. This one thing important, this marketing signal. Now following the announcement, WBD shares jumped nearly 10% in early trading as investors react to the news. Across the entertainment sector, consolidation has become a name of the game. Disney has scaled back production and restructured leadership. Paramount has merged with Skydance. Comcast has been rumored to be shopping around for content asset, and Netflix, once the disruptor, now face saturation in nearly every major market. Against the backdrop, Warner Bros. Discovery Library, studios, and global infrastructure are once again prime acquisition target, with recognizable assets such as Harry Potter, DC Studios, CNN, I see, and HGTV, along with few media portfolios carry such brand recognition. But the same diversity that once made WBD a powerhouse could also complicate any potential sales. Combining massive entertainment, news, and non-fictional division under the single buyer would raise serious regulatory concern, especially in Washington, where large-scale media mergers have faced growing scrutiny. Now, for the balancing act, okay, we're going to continue right until here. The memo from Zaslav, while calm and diplomatic, reflects a growing urgency. Exploring strategic alternatives allow us to evaluate every opportunity responsibly, saying that the process could take weeks or months and no outcome is guaranteed. Now, the internal message includes a familiar reassurance that WBD's core strategy, optimizing networks, restoring studio leadership, expanding Max globally, remains intact during the review period. Sorry, making sure there's no interruption. Still, the timing is notable. Just days before, multiple financial outlets had reported that Paramount, Skydance, and at least one other undisclosed buyer had expressed formal interest. Sources close to the situation told Hollywood Reporter that WBD's board now views a complete sales as a viable possibility depending on the valuation and shareholders' appetite. So what comes next? For employees, the announcement has understandably stirred anxiety, though Zaslav emphasized continuity. Large-scale reviews often signal internal restructuring, cost reductions, or leadership shifts. For shareholders, it is a potential windfall if the right buyers emerge. This is the one problem. Many of these employees are worried, okay? This one, the right buyers. As for the rest of the industry, it could trigger another domino effect. If WBD sells or spins off major divisions, it could prompt a renewed mergers among competitors scrambling to maintain content pipelines and market share. The question isn't just WBD will change now that is for sale, is that how far the board is willing to go. Now, the bigger picture. This review may ultimately define Zaslav's tenure as CEO. The merger he championed since 2022 was supposed to build the next great media titan. 3 years later, he acknowledging that the model may need to rebuild or sold off entirely. For now, the company official stance is one of evaluation, but that corporate, I can't even say this word, corporate euphemism, sorry about butchering, usually precedes something concrete, whether it's a spin-off or a sale or another industrial shaking merger. WBD is clearly at a crossroads and Hollywood is watching. Okay, first off, sorry about the whole flickering. What do we get from this? First and foremost, look, this is not specifically WBD, okay? Don't forget, there's still the video game industry. Like what? Rocksteady, Avalanche Studio. Don't forget, there's still the Harry Potter series. I can list up any examples, folks. Recently, there is the EA buyout from Saudi Arabia, and there's also the China Tencent buyout of Ubisoft. And everything is now restructuring. My theory is that many of these employees, they were afraid that the buyers could be someone who is, I would say, don't like people in the diversity quota. They don't want people in the LGBTQ community or anything. Because if you don't know, during the EA buyout, many people, such as from BioWare, are afraid, they are worried that they get laid off because EA is now being sold to Saudi Arabia for $55 billion. Because they knew they are afraid for that. So this is why I'm gonna guess if WBD is sold off to people such as what? The Saudi Arabia or the UAE or any company in the Middle East that doesn't like the diversity, equity, and inclusion, aka the LGBT and all that, well, that's gonna be a problem. In reality, you have to ask yourself this. Look, when it comes to foreign companies, I have a mixed feeling for that, okay? But you have to ask, as a gamer or in this case as a consumer, which would you prefer? Would you prefer the current company who is still continuing to produce slop after slop, or would you prefer a foreign company take over and make the game, or in this case the product, better? So we don't know what's gonna happen because, again, like I said, to any company, doesn't matter who you are, video game company or whatever, if you don't want to suffer a buyout or anything, your choice is this: continue to produce slop after slop, thus risking a buyout, or two, make a good product, listen to your feedback, listen to your core audience, to the fans, to the consumers, aka the gamers, the people you claim they are chuds or incel, and improve. Those are the two choices.